Hi guys, I am here to give you guys some books and movie recommendations on Black history and some of the books and movies that shed light on the racial injustice. So first I would like to start with talking about some movies that I would recommend. So the first one is Just Mercy, and this movie is actually free to the end of the month on streaming platforms, and it is to bring awareness to the racial injustice that's going on. And I think that it is a really hard movie to watch, but it's really good to educate yourself on just to be able to see the brokenness inside of our justice system. And it is about a man who was convicted of a crime that he did not commit, and his fight to become a free man again. And again, it shows just really how broken things are. So I think that it is definitely a really good movie to watch. It also is a book as well. If you would like to read the book, you can do that as well. And my next movie recommendation is When They See Us. This is on Netflix, and I believe it's not a movie, but it's a documentary series. And it is based on 5 guys who were convicted of a crime that they did not commit. It goes into, again, racial injustice, stereotypes, the brokenness in our justice system. A tough watch, but again, it is really good to educate yourself on just all of the injustice that's going on in this world. My last movie recommendation is Selma. And this is about the life of Martin Luther King and his protesting for injustice. And it is still very relevant to what he was doing then, to what is happening and still going on today. And Martin Luther King is a big part of our Black history. And so I think that it is a really good movie to watch, and also provides education on the Black community. Now let's move into the books. So the first book that I would like to recommend is The Hate We Give, and I will put all of the authors and stuff like that in the comments if you guys would like to get these books. This book is actually a fiction book, but it is based on real life. It is about police brutality and police shootings, and when that happens, how it affects the community, the Black community, when things like this happens. It is so good. It is also a movie, if you would like to watch the movie or read the book, or both. I think that it is a really good read, and also educating yourself on just how it affects the Black community. Now, the next book that I would like to recommend is Becoming by Michelle Obama. This is a really good book. It is really evident in our Black culture and our Black history, having the first Black president, first Black first lady. She talks about her whole life, and she talks about being in the office. She talks about some racial things as well that occurred while they were running for presidency, and also when they were in office. So yeah, it is definitely a really good book, and she has an audiobook as well. And she also has a documentary of behind the scenes of the book signing on Netflix, that it goes into what she's doing for the minority youth and different things like that, and it's super good. So my next book that I would recommend is An American Marriage. This book is a fiction book, but it also is based on real life. It is about a husband who was convicted of a crime that he did not commit and sentenced to death row, much more like Just Mercy, but it really just shows, again, the racial injustice that's going on, how it affects the Black community, how it affects families and different things like that. And it is really tough read, but a really good read as well. And the last book that I would like to recommend is White Fragility. And this book talks about why is it so hard for white people to talk about racism. And I think that this is a really good book. It is written by a white woman, 2 white people, but I believe that it is also really beneficial for Black people to read it too, because we need to have these conversations about racism. Like, we need to talk about it, and it is active, and it is alive, and it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be talked about. This book, I think, is so good that when I was reading it, I was talking to my husband, Yusef, and I was telling him, like, I think that this book should be a textbook in history in high school, because I think that racism should be talked about. It is, like, again, like I was saying, it's alive, it's active, and it needs to be addressed, and we need to have these hard conversations. And this book really helps with understandings and also being able to push into having these hard and difficult conversations. So these are my book recommendations, my movie recommendations, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Thanks.